but we have two engineering-based roles that might benefit from a little bit of explanation around them. And the first one is an enterprise engineering role. And that we see as the glue between the B2B sales and the product team. So a lot of we have a ton of inbound sales, so many companies, small, large businesses reaching out, wanting to use 11 Labs. And they sometimes come with requests of the product that we can't all prioritize at once. And if it's something small, like implementing pauses, for instance, between generations of audio, then that's something that the enterprise enterprise solutions engineer would focus on. So they would be working on the product, but tailored to the feature requests and generally the requests of the enterprise customers. So for that, you would need an engineering background and be able to understand Python as our backend and TypeScript as our front end. So a little bit of full stack knowledge, but also an ambition for being close to the customer and having that enablement mindset for the customer and the customer sales. The other role that I wanted to highlight is the growth engineering role. And that, again, is the little bit of a glue role between the growth team and the product team this time. So not the B2B sales, like the enterprise solutions engineer, but more the B2C sales for the growth engineer. And the growth engineer's focus is really being hacky and scrappy and developing ways and implementing ways of accelerating our reach to end users. The end users are those that land on the 11labs.io page and are able to self-serve, sign up to the platform and use it themselves rather than the business customers. And the things that help in that realm are SEO. If you've thought about SEO before or ambitious about it, have like opinions of the kind of hacky things you can do to be ranked higher, that is perfect match for the growth engineer. Paid acquisition is something that we're trialing, and that is very much related to what the growth engineer would be doing, like coming up with new experiments that you could try to accelerate the growth within the B2C community. For that, you would also need an engineering background, being able to maybe create a new landing page or integrate analytics, work with data analysis to measure the success of these different experiments. So for that, you need the technical background, but in combination with a very creative and ambitious and like fast-moving need to come up with experiments and implement them and test them, and then seeing how the product grows, which I think is really rewarding part of that role. So those are the two roles that I wanted to highlight, but as I mentioned, the remaining ones of them are listed on 11labs.io/careers, which I can repost in the channel, in the chat. But if you have any questions about the more standard ones that are posted there, of course, reach out to me as well over victoria@11labs.io. I'd be happy to answer all of those.
Awesome. Thanks for that overview, Victoria. And I just wanted to say too, as you know, like a user of 11 Labs, it's a phenomenal product. Like I actually have a link to one of our newsletter editions we published. I basically took the text and, you know, kind of edited it a little bit for one of our newsletter editions. And then I played it for 5 different people and not a single one knew it was AI. It was just that good between the emotion and the fluctuation. So I just wanted to give like a firsthand sort of kudos for the product. It's awesome. And I also think you guys would be a great opportunity to work at such a cool space. So thank you again for that, and kudos for such an awesome product.
Thank you too, Alex. Appreciate it.
Hey, Victoria, is the best place for people to apply on just your careers page? We were kind of dropping the link there. Just 11labs.io/careers. Is that the best place, or should they reach out to you directly, or what would be the best place?
That is the best place, actually. We review the incoming applications there all the time, and what I would probably do is send candidates there as well, because we have a form to fill out with some questions, and it's really interesting to see what candidates put in there to get a better overview, and then to also assess what we would drill into in the first and second round interviews, of course. Maybe a quick note on the interview process, because a lot of candidates ask about this as well. After the screening of what is filled out in the form, there's a first round interview on motivation, which is followed by a more technical deep dive. And then there's one more round of calibration with the other co-founder. So it can move very quickly. And that's the setup that we found for getting a good overview of candidates.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Victoria. We really appreciate you taking the time. We'll try to blast this to as many people in our network as possible. Hopefully get you all some good leads. And I know it's late your time, so if you have to hop off or need to go cam off, totally fine. We thank you for the time, and keep up the great work there. And
we're actually having drinks with the team, so I might.
Amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Well, get over to the team and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
Perfect. So I hope you all had a chance to kind of see that link to some of the jobs Victoria posted. We'll follow up with those later. Before we hand it off to Kendall, I just wanted to say a quick note. I've seen a few people in the chat saying that they're having some issues with some audio. So if that's the case, make sure, what's the best move for them, Michael? Either go to the native mobile app or make sure they're on desktop. It seems the people that are having issues are on mobile web.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's most of them are joining from their phones, and they're in like a browser, and they didn't turn on the volume settings or enable volume settings. Desktop is going to be the best bet for sure. The mobile app, I dropped the link. Sean just dropped the link as well. If you click that, it will open up the Apple or Google Play Store to download the mobile app. And then as soon as you get into the app, you'll see the room right at the top of the home feed to pop in. But yeah, if you have access to a laptop, that's going to be the best place to join.
And is there a link to a Clubhouse as well if people want to go?
Yeah. If people do have Clubhouse, I know a lot of people might not, but if you have the Clubhouse app, you can pop on there too and just listen in. You're not going to be able to see anything, but I can drop the link. I can drop the link for that as well.
That'd be great. It looks like, so we've hovered around 200 people, so hopefully most people are able to access that. We've also got some listening in the Clubhouse, but that was, I thought, a great presentation, and it's a perfect segue to our next speaker. So just to kind of set a little context, we have Kendall here from Learn.xyz. He'll talk a little bit more about, sort of what the company is doing in their openings. But I actually know about Learn.xyz because Christian, one of the co-founders, worked with me at LinkedIn. Really great guy. The team seems really solid. And we'll hand it over to you, Kendall, to tell us a little bit more about what y'all are doing over there.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you guys for having me, Michael and Alex. Really appreciate it. I know as I'm one of the founding engineers, and this recruiting process directly affects my day-to-day, right? So like maybe one of you guys are just like some super stud, and like I'm able to just kind of like work hand in hand with you guys. And so like this is really me putting time and effort through these kind of things are like really beneficial, at least for my day-to-day life personally, and then obviously as well for Learn.xyz. So I guess I can get started. Let me post again. I've just kind of been spamming now and then, like just our links. I just posted it again.
That's been super helpful. If you want to, you can click the start share button at the bottom. You can share your screen if you want to like show the website or go through anything. That can be
cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me just do this. I do have like some Google Slides up, but you can probably just go for something like this last one, which is totally fine and probably easy for everyone. Can you see it okay?
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
It's hilarious that you guys are going to be seeing this slide because our designer Carmen is just so good at her job, and then I I scrapped this last slide, which completely ruined it, and just put these links in totally kind of engineering style. But sorry about that, Carmen, and hopefully this is all right. But without further ado, let me introduce Learn.xyz. So Learn is essentially a social AI generated learning platform. And what that kind of means is we would like to really pioneer the process of learning, learning topics on like the 101 level. So like just like the beginner level, but in a social manner. So if you kind of combine Duolingo, the way Duolingo has you learn some languages, right? And the way Instagram kind of combines two people or a whole network of people, we're kind of trying to find the intersection between those two. So making learning fun is definitely one of our primary goals. And then also making learning doable and also social as well. So we're able to compete with our friends, learn with our friends, and really just make learning a more joyful and entertaining process. So without starting with that, we can kind of go back and so as you can see, like this is just kind of like a little demo of our app. We're able to essentially create, a user is essentially able to put any prompt in, how do I make wine? What is the Roman Empire? And we're able to kind of spit out about like 5 to 10 slideshow short form content of just what that topic is just about. As you can see on the kind of that first screen on the left-hand side, you can kind of just get that bit of the Romans right there. And then the second part is that quiz to kind of just make sure like, okay, like you didn't just like swipe through, like you kind of got it down and whatnot. And so that's kind of just like the gist of it right now, or like what you're able to do in the application right now. But we're really, really kind of just going for something so much more. And we're also trying to take education to a social platform as well. So we're trying to become way more like community oriented. So, we're really thinking about people creating their own content as well as you learn within a community. So let's just say you and your buddies want to go learn like the game of hockey. And so like you guys go take a bunch of courses on like who Wayne Gretzky is and why the Washington Capitals is the best NHL team. I'm from DC. Sorry if no one got that. And stuff like that. So it's just, we really do kind of want to make this learning platform incredibly more social, because I think that's how we bring the most value and we can kind of change, that's kind of our change the world solution. So this is our team. We're essentially, we're a team of 6, I believe. A few interns had just left back to school. But I am a founding engineer, and up top you can see our 2 co-founders, Arndt and Christian. We are all SF based, so unfortunately we kind of nixed the idea of of remote. I had just moved back from New York to San Francisco last month, so if I can do it, I think everybody else can do it. And we really do believe it's a much better culture if we're all together. And I have like a lot of fun kind of just coming into office and talking with our co-founders, Carmen, our designer, and Emily, our marketing, our kind of like out-facing team. And as you can kind of see, Christian and Arndt have a lot of experience in education and growth. Like I think Alex said that he worked with Christian at LinkedIn. Like Christian would kind of man all of these little small features or products within LinkedIn and just kind of grow that up into something more tangible within their community. So I think these guys are really honestly super awesome and very experienced people with building these companies. And they also do come from learning backgrounds. I believe all 4 sets of their parents are in some sort of, in a way, educators, either professors or elementary, middle school, high school, or college level. And so that's like really kind of interesting. They really have skin in the game as well. So yeah, definitely add us on LinkedIn and all the social medias. Honestly, most important is that we are about to launch on Product Hunt tonight. So PST at midnight. And so if you're able to kind of go to the link I shared in a little bit to kind of go upvote us, that would be really incredible. But that's enough of that kind of pitch right there. So who we're looking for. We're looking for essentially another version of me, and honestly, hopefully a lot better. just a engineer and a product person at heart, just kind of someone who's able to get stuff done. And honestly, I think we just had a few rounds of interviews, and I think the biggest thing that we wanted to, the two biggest things that we kind of look for in a candidate is, like, do we want to work with them? Like, are they cool? Are they thoughtful? Are they curious? Are they resourceful? And then also that other like grinding aspect, like, do they get stuff done? You know, can I kind of just trust with them? Like, hey, this is this idea, or hey, this is their problem. And then I can kind of just like, we work together, and then I can kind of give it to them just to kind of like, you know, handle and then take it away. And then I don't have to think about it, right? And our CTO, doesn't have to think about it, or Christian, our CEO, doesn't have to think about it, you know, just really be autonomous individual and kind of just like a go-getter in that kind of sense. Yeah, and so that is that. And then let me get the links as well. Here are the links again, and then I can keep on talking about the position as well and like our stack. We're really not looking for someone who is, we are at a React, TypeScript, and Firebase stack, but we're not really looking for a guru in that language or model or framework, whatever you want to call it. We're really looking for someone who's just curious, smart, and like, you know, I can kind of ask them to do a puzzle, and I can easily see that they are, you know, the way they're working through the puzzle, like they can communicate and stuff like that. We can overlook the fact that that they don't know React Native or React and these things. Like, we believe that we are investing in you guys, and if it takes a few weeks for you guys to pick up React, like, that's no big deal. Just as long as like we can clearly see you're like super energetic, like very happy person, and like very smart, and like on all of these kind of soft skill things, we really do kind of value those things. So yeah, just kind of to reiterate, we're AI learning platform in San Francisco, and we're looking for, honestly, I think the best title would be like a founding product engineer. You know, not just someone who can build things, but also has an eye as like, hey, why is this the flow? Shouldn't this kind of be better? And kind of stuff like that, instead of an engineer kind of just doing what they're told, if that makes sense. That's kind of all the information in the pitch I wanted to share. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. Michael and Alex, is there anything like obviously I just kind of skipped out on?
No, that was a great overview. I'll you know, again, similar to like 11 Labs, I've had an opportunity to learn or actually use Learn.xyz. It's a great product that you guys have put together in a pretty quick time period, to be honest. I remember talking to Christian, it feels like not that long ago, of the concept. So, you know, like I said, I worked with Christian before. I can vouch for at least him being a really solid person to work with. And it sounds like this is an awesome team. So, you know, if you're not based in the Bay Area, feel free to pass this along to one of your friends. That's also a great way to, you know, make sure a lot of people are exposed to this. But yeah, that was a great overview, Kendall. We really appreciate you coming on as well. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to, you know, follow up with us, and I can make sure it gets to the team. We'll be sure to highlight those open roles in our future email sends as well. And I think Sean's posting some of the main links as well. We'll keep dropping those in the chat to make sure they're going well. And then Michael, any other thoughts, questions on that?
Yeah, I mean, super cool company, Kendall. If you're looking to do the Product Hunt launch tomorrow, we have a big, like one of our biggest communities is like a Product Hunt community. I'll drop the link in the room chat. You should definitely share it in there, and then like post that on Entre. Will help, you know, get you some more upvotes and stuff for that for sure as well.
Great. Yeah, I'll definitely send that over to Emily and Christian, more of like our out-facing team, and maybe put you in contact with them. That'd be really great. I actually did see, I think it was Monique. Yeah, thanks for bringing up the interview process. Like, let me quickly kind of go over that. So the interview process is right. It's still under works, but generally speaking, you'll reach out to us. You'll have a conversation with our two co-founders, Arndt and Christian, just for general like cultural fit and whatnot. and then getting onto the technical interview, we'll then provide essentially a Notion page which describes a take-home application where you kind of just build your own mobile application. Super easy, like a tic-tac-toe game, but there are a few curveballs and nuances that we want to throw at you. And then you'll come and present that to our engineering and entire team sometimes to see just how and why you implemented the things that you did. And then assuming that goes well, we would like to, hey, Esther is on our machine learning team. She's at one of our great, like, she all the content you see, she's the one that's kind of prompting the AI to kind of give to us. But yeah, so back to the interview process. Depending on how you kind of do that take-home application, we'll invite you over, and we would really like to sit down with you for at least a few days, maybe a few half days. We're very flexible, noting that some people are working full-time. If you're working full-time remotely, we've had even candidates, come in for 3 days, and whenever they need to take a meeting or need to do work, they just step out in our office, go do what they need to do, and come back in. And then during those few days, we'll have maybe a feature, or we'll see like, hey, there's this bug in our application, like what's going on, and just kind of see how we operate together. Honestly, it means a lot to me to see how everybody works, just because we will eventually be working hand in hand if everything goes well. So nothing kind of like a FANG, like leak code kind of interview, but more just high level, how do you work, and then and whatnot. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody's interest, and thank you guys so much for having us as well.
Yeah, thanks again, Kendall. And I know obviously you're busy in the startup grind as well. So, also feel free to drop if you need to. But we thank you for sharing your time with us. We'll be sure to, get this in front of as many people as possible. And we're cheering you all on. I think this is a really important problem space to tackle. And it's cool to see you guys taking such an innovative approach. So thank you again for joining us. Yeah,
no problem, guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to drop, but Michael and Alex, I think I'll contact you about that, maybe that the Entre audience.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's talk about getting let's try to get your job posted on Entre, and we can share it out, and people can apply directly and just upload their resume, and you'll get all of those just through Entre as well. So, but yeah, this was great, man. I appreciate you for coming on, and keep me posted about the product hunt launch, and we can definitely help with that.
Yeah, we'll do. All right. Appreciate it, everyone. Thank you guys so much for listening. Really appreciate it. See you guys.
You got it.
Thanks, Kendall. So Michael, we'll send it to you real quick before the presentation.
Yeah, I just wanted to go through, we're about to launch AI headshots. So we haven't done necessarily, we're not necessarily an AI company ourselves, but we are obviously supportive of AI and looking for all sorts of different ways to use AI within our platform and whatnot. I'll drop the link here, but we're going to be rolling out basically these AI headshots. We basically give you right now 48 different variations of headshots that you can check out. Hopefully you guys think that these look like me. I think, there's a lot of different variations that we go through, but it's getting pretty good. We're continuing to improve it. We're going to be rolling this out, and I'll share the link to this if you guys want one. Just let us know, or click the link, and we'll get these over to you guys. Let me just try to find the link here. I'll put it right in the room chat for you guys. But yeah, and that's all I wanted to highlight. I think this has been great. I know, Alex, you got some really cool stuff coming up as well that you want to share with everyone, and go through a little deck. But yeah, if you're interested, I just dropped the link there. We're going to be doing a special as well, but if you want to try it out, we're giving away a bunch for free as well. Just use promo code Entre. And then all we're asking is people share it on social and tag us. So our social is just @joinentre. But yeah, try it out, play around with it. Next week, we're going to be charging money for it. So yeah, get in while you can. But back to you, Alex. Oh, real quick, Jarrett, is there anything else that did you want to share anything? I know you dropped and I know you're driving or whatever. Is there anything that you want to share real quick? If not, it's all good. And we can pass it back off to Alex. I will take that as you're good. Alex, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks everyone. I hope you both enjoyed or all enjoyed hearing both of our AI startups speak today. I think these are two of the most exciting companies I've seen in the space. I think a lot of the roles I saw people mentioning, are there any non-technical roles? I think they are skewing a little technical there, but with 11 Labs and Learn.xyz, I think they have some other roles. So make sure to check out their careers page. But what I wanted to do to kind of end the career fair today was actually put together a presentation that I thought would be widely applicable to everyone, which is basically how you can actually use AI to accelerate your job search and advance your career. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share some of the slides I've prepared. To be honest, I went to see the Drake concert in Austin last night, so these were a little rushed towards the end, but hopefully you all still find it very valuable. And as a reminder, this is all done kind of under my Big Brain company. We share a lot of content like this. But before we dive in deep, I wanted to give a little bit of background behind just Big Brain. So, I've spent my career, if I had one single mission, it's really been around trying to get people the content and the tools they need to actually advance in their careers. So I worked at LinkedIn for a number of years where I got to actually see under the hood of how these large platforms work and, different tricks and tools you can use to advance. And one of the things that I learned was that certain people have a lot better tools available to them and info when going about the job search. And I think, in a competitive market like this one, it's really important that you use everything you can to basically get an edge. And so that is basically the goal of this presentation today is I want to basically show you all how AI can actually be used to advance your career. So I think one of the best ways to actually get people's attention on this is to make them understand that, AI really is going to touch everything. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people can make right now is they basically might assume, oh, my job or my function is not going to be impacted by AI. And I wanted to share a few stats that suggest, this coming wave of change we have in our economy. So by 2025, the following numbers are predicted to be true. There's going to be 85 million jobs that are replaced by AI. And while this can sound scary at first, I think there's a lot of fear circulating around of, the robots are taking over. There's also a flip side of this, which is that there's actually going to be a net positive amount of jobs that are created by AI. So they expect 97 million new jobs that are going to be created. The problem is, and this is the reason people tend to get really worried, is it's hard to actually conceptualize what those jobs are because many of them are not only new, but might not even be created yet. And so it's really important to recognize that this is going to touch everyone. And even if you don't work a specific AI job, chances are the role you do work in will be touched by AI. Now, when it comes to AI, I think a lot of people assume that it has to replace you, but it is my belief that it can actually enhance you. And so today I'm going to actually walk through 3 ways you can use AI as part of your job search. The first is basically, okay, how do you find these AI jobs, some of these new roles that are emerging, and how do you basically put yourself in this category where you're one of the few people applying because other people aren't even aware. The second is we can actually look at hot AI companies. One of the biggest ways to really advance your career is to ride the wave of a company that's taking over a major category. So we'll discuss a little of how to do that. And then lastly, I just want to highlight some of the tools and prompts that you can actually use in your job search, because I think in the coming years, if you don't actually use these AI tools, it's going to basically be like not using the internet or not using a laptop. You'll be so far behind all the other people that are using it. So you want to make sure that you're one of those people that are using it. So let's start with finding the actual AI jobs. So as I mentioned before, there's going to be not only a lot of jobs replaced, but a lot of net new ones created. And I wanted to highlight some of these jobs that if you had said these a year ago, most people wouldn't even know what they mean. So, there's this idea of an AI prompt engineer, which is someone that actually can come in and they can actually generate the best ways to interface with these large language models to actually get at the outputs you want. There's also things like an AI interaction designer, where maybe in the past you were using tools like just Figma or Sketch, and now you're using Midjourney, where you actually have generative AI and generative art entering the frame. There's also ideas like AI integration specialists, where you can actually go to companies and help them use the latest and greatest AI tools. And, this list really goes on, but I think it gives you an idea of all the new opportunities that are going to come up that you can go and put yourself into. Now, obviously, if you're going to do that, you need to be upskilled on this. There might be new education you need to do. And I think the good news is that there's a lot of information that's coming out on this. So a lot of my friends, whether it's Pete or Rachel, they're actually launching AI courses that teach you how to basically use AI in these different areas. With Big Brain, we're also working on specific guides for specific functions. So if you want to know the best AI prompts and tools for salespeople or product managers or engineers or marketers, we have personalized courses for all of that. So I think that's something you can definitely begin to dig into. And you can also use tools like Learn.xyz, which we talked about today, where I went in just today and I said, hey, create a course for me on how to actually find a job in AI. So it's kind of a little bit of AI inception at this point, but you can actually use AI to train you and skill you. Now, I'll also give a few other plugs, which is that, assuming that you know the general function you want, it's only relevant if you can find a live job listing. And this is where some of these other more specific ones come in. Obviously, I'm going to plug our own products, but Entre actually has an artificial intelligence filter on the website. We launched an AI jobs board over at aijobsboard.net, and all of the jobs here are related to AI. So if you're someone that's basically decided, hey, this is the category in the industry I want to work in for the next 5, 10, 15 years, then these are a really good place to start, because everything there is going to be filtered on that. And I think almost every major jobs platform on the planet is going to offer something like this, whether it's LinkedIn, Indeed. Just make sure that you filter on the functions and the actual industry categories to see them all. The other way to approach it is you can actually try to go at it from a company level. So I included a quote here for Sheryl Sandberg. For those of you that aren't familiar, Sheryl Sandberg is basically a Silicon Valley icon. She was one of the early execs at Google, and then later went on to be the chief operating officer at Facebook. So quite an impressive resume. And this quote here is actually a quote that she references from an initial meeting she had with the CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt. And at the time, she just wasn't really sure if she should join this, sort of early tech company in Google. And, it's easy to say, well, that's obvious. But at the time, it wasn't clear how big Google was going to be. And she was basically talking to Eric, and she's like, look, I don't know if this really fits with my resume. This is kind of risky. I have a lot of other good opportunities. And he basically said, listen, if you're offered a chance on the rocket ship, don't worry about the seat, just get on it. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, because a lot of these AI startups, whether it's the ones we heard talk today, or some of the other ones like OpenAI, or even larger companies like NVIDIA, these are the billion and trillion dollar companies of the future. And if you can get in there early, it can be a massive boon for your career. And so a lot of people aren't looking at these startups right now, but this can be your chance to basically get in early. Now, how do you actually go about finding an AI rocket ship, though? I think it's a lot easier said than done, right? I think if anyone here had the chance to join Google or Facebook or Apple, knowing where it would go, they would obviously do it. But at the time the opportunity was presented, it might not have been obvious. And so this is a basic framework I look for when basically vetting how valuable a company could be. So I think first things first, you need to think from first principles and basically see what problem are they solving. So, in the case that Learn.xyz, they're actually going after the whole education category. So that's a multi-billion-dollar space. The same thing can be said of 11 Labs, where if you think of things like podcasts or gaming characters, doing the audio for those, again, these are billion-dollar spaces. I like to give the example, of OpenAI or Perplexity. These are companies that are literally going after Google, which is the most valuable company in the planet. So if they are able to succeed in replacing the way in which we search for information on the internet, that would fundamentally change everything basically in our society. I think the second thing you need to do is you need to study the AI research and emerging trends. Instead of actually seeing, okay, where are things today, it helps to actually skate to where the puck is going. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and read a bunch of these, white papers or long books or anything like that, but doing things like subscribing to AI newsletters, checking TechCrunch, just keeping up with the latest happenings can give you an idea of like, okay, what company or what space do I think is going to be big when AI starts to attack it? The third is you can actually look for other signals. I put an example of actually the largest AI fundraising rounds of this year. These are going to be the companies that have huge war chests. They're going to be looking to hire fast. And, let's be real, there's kind of a wider recession in parts of the tech economy right now. But one of the areas that's experiencing a boom is in the AI space. So if you look at a company and you see they raised a lot and they have lots of roles on their website, that's a good place to attack. And while, yes, a lot of these companies do have a lot of technical roles, they also need other roles as well. They're going to need people to market their end products and need people to sell. If it's an enterprise product, they need people to design the products. And so there's an opportunity for everyone there. And that kind of gets to that last point of mapping your skill set. You really want to think about what is the company solving and does that fit with what you want to do? So for instance, the companies that are basically creating AI hardware, if you come from maybe a UX design background, that might not be a space you want to go after as much as maybe a company like OpenAI, which has a user-facing application. Conversely, if you work in B2B sales and you want to sell enterprise software, you don't necessarily want to go to a user-facing company. You want to go to an enterprise company that's going to sell those big contracts. So these are the things you can look for when you're actually doing it. And sort of just to conclude here, I wanted to highlight some of the AI tools and prompts you can sort of use to advance your career. So if we look at it, the job search process is an end-to-end process. What you can basically do is break down each step there and ask yourself, is there a way to basically make this more efficient or give me a leg up with the right AI tool? So, one of the first things that you want to do is actually understand what jobs you should be looking for. And you can do this by just scouring the jobs boards, like we mentioned, or going on Google. But there's also AI tools that will actually reverse engineer your resume and your skill sets and give you sample jobs that you might match well to. So Kick Resume has a tool called Pajama Jobs, where you basically just upload a PDF of your resume. It'll basically look at it, do syntax analysis, and be like, hey, these 4 or 5 jobs fit really well with your background. The same thing can be said for Sonara.ai. They have a similar product. So if you're not sure where to start on the job outreach, these are a really good place to kind of give you a direction on where to go. Once you kind of have an idea of the jobs you want to go after, you might find more success if you can actually update your resume and your cover letter and basically fine tune it to the job listing. And I think historically, this is something that would have been really difficult to do because who wants to create, 25 versions of their resume from scratch? That sounds like an absolute nightmare. But with tools like Resi or SkillRoads, you can actually custom make these resumes from scratch where you just give a few inputs and then the AI will actually regenerate it and customize it for the role. So this is definitely a thing you can look at. And then obviously you need a professional headshot. So shout out Entre. You can go and actually create the headshot. So I know for me, I'm not really good about keeping my things updated. So what you can actually do is use a tool like Entre, or there's other ones out there as well, but basically generate a headshot photo so that your resume or your LinkedIn profile, or your Entre profile sticks out in the process. And now as we start to get further along in the process, let's say that you know the job you want to go after, you have your resume and everything set up, you get the interview. This is often a point of fear for a lot of people. And, while it could be good to say, reach out to a friend, interview with them, that can be a little bit nerve-wracking, or you might not want to bother them. And what's kind of cool is you can actually use different tools and basically treat the AI chatbots as your interviewer. So what I like to do is I'll actually go into some of these chatbots like ChatGPT. I'll give it a prompt along the lines of, hey, I'm interviewing for a product management role at Uber. I want you to basically ask me a series of questions for this job function and title. And the AI chatbot will actually simulate a recruiter from that company. Now, there's also more specific ones. I launched one called interviewmeai.com that's focused at software engineers. Google has their own tool called Interview Warmup. But I encourage you all to check out a tool like this, because actually getting in those practice reps with a bot is basically a way to get unlimited sets, and it's a low risk environment. But at the same time, you're going to find your confidence is building more and more with the more you do it. And just kind of wrap it up, I only had time to highlight a few of the tools today, but there's also these awesome tools databases out there that do a great job of letting you filter by category. So my friend Rowan has a tool called Super Tools. They have a bunch of different tools listed there for all those steps in the process. The same for, there's an AIforthat.com. They have literally thousands of tools listed there. And for each of these categories, you can basically go type in like, resume generator, and it'll give you 12, 20 different AI tools to do it. And so kind of just to conclude that, I want to leave on a positive note for everyone, which is that as we undergo this really big transformation of not only our economy and the workplace, but really society as a whole, I'd like to encourage you all to remember that AI is here to enhance, not replace. In every wave of technology in the past, whether it was the internet or computers or cars, there's been this fear that, it's going to ruin society, that humans are screwed, this is the end of the world, but that's simply not the case. And I think if you all take the time to actually dig deep, learn these tools, learn how it can actually augment your existing skill set, there's no limit to how far you can go. And on that note, I'd encourage you all to also stay in the loop. If you head over to bigbraindaily.com, we send out an AI newsletter 3 times a week. And our goal is to really just keep everyone basically up to speed. They're intentionally written to be easy to consume. It only takes 3 to 4 minutes a day. It's a good way to start it with your morning cup of coffee, and you can get a sense for where the AI industry is going. We put new AI jobs every day. We put AI companies you can go after. And if you're, a little afraid to take the leap, but want to slowly start to expose yourself, then I hope you all consider basically getting more content like this from our newsletter. And on that note, that's all I have for today. But I wanted to thank, everyone from both the Big Brain and Entre community for dialing in, listening to AI startups, and, hopefully you found some value in this presentation. And on that note, Michael, I'll hand it back to you for some closing thoughts.
Yeah, dude, this was sick. That was a great presentation, by the way. I think we should definitely, it'd be good to just cut that and send that out as a separate video. So we'll try to do that. I think that'll be helpful for a lot of people. I think not even just I think it definitely applies obviously to AI, right? But just tech and startups in general and what to look out for and all of that. So super, super valuable stuff there. Hope everyone was paying attention and taking some notes there. But yeah, I mean, I love this. I definitely want to do more of these. I think obviously, AI is not going away anytime soon. And I think that, we'll do some more of these job fairs. We have the next just general our tech and Web3 job fair coming up in 2 weeks, I believe. I'm going to drop the link to that right now. If I can find it here. It's going to take me a second. Okay, got it. So it'll be kind of similar style. This one, we have a lot of recruiters that will come on. There'll probably be 6 to 10 recruiters and different companies that will come on. but we're trying to grow these. Make sure that you check the jobs section of Entre. If you make sure you download the mobile app, because you'll get notifications for new roles that are posted immediately. I think that the biggest thing is just making sure that you're meeting new people, engaging with other people, going to events, all this other stuff. We're going to start doing in-person events in New York, here in Austin, Miami, and some other cities as well. So stay tuned for those. But really try to join some communities, meet people, engage with people, reach out to Alex, join his newsletter, stay informed with all of this stuff. Things move very quickly in this space. So if there are new companies that get funding and stuff like that, you're going to hear about it first from Alex and on Twitter or here or on his newsletter. And make sure you apply for companies that, they just raise money. That's the easiest way to find really great roles and opportunities. So looking forward to doing more of these. Make sure you follow. We'll be posting this here on Entre, the recording of it. So if you missed anything, if you want to watch it again, we'll be posting that out and sharing that out to everyone. But yeah, this was awesome. Looking forward to doing another one soon. Alex, where would be the best place for people to follow up with you, learn more? Anything else that you want to share before we wrap up here?
Yeah, definitely. The newsletter is a great way. That's where I try to post all my content. It's free. We do our best to share it and just kind of democratize access to all of this. I also, I'm occasionally active on Twitter, post about all types of things, not just AI. So, feel free to give me a follow there, at Alex_Valaitis. On X, I guess it's called now. And then, I try to do my best to keep track of DMs. Admittedly, I'm not always the best at doing it, but, if there's ever, something that comes up or something like that, I eventually get to my LinkedIn and Entre and all those inboxes. So, feel free to ping me again. But honestly, I try to put the most effort I can into this content. Usually what I put out is, everything that's on my mind. And that I've learned about the space. So, make sure to read that and review that, because that's probably the best information I can provide. But yeah, I just want to say thanks again, Michael. It's awesome, seeing this community continue to grow, and appreciate everyone that tuned in today and spent some time with us. And hopefully it was valuable.
Yeah, definitely valuable. I'd love to get, some more companies on next time, some more recruiters, and just, we'll continue to pack it out. This was the first one we had over, we had 200 people in here live. And then I think throughout this, there was way more than that too, throughout the whole event, popping in and popping out. So, the next one will be even bigger. We'll have a lot more time. We kind of threw this together in a month, so we'll have more time to push it out too. But I think Jarrett wants to say something. I don't know I think he wanted to bring someone up. Jarrett, you want to, is there anyone that you have that you want to bring up here? I don't see anyone that has their hand raised.
Yeah, he's new to Entre, so I think he's struggling. I keep telling him to put his hand up. His Fintology Technology. He's on the third to last row with the suit on. Do you see him?
I'm on web, so it's a little bit different. It's not like in the same order, but his name's Tori.
Tori. Yeah. He says he has it raised. I see it. He just sent me a screenshot that his hand is raised.
You can bring him up too if you can.
I see him. It's not letting me bring him up from the buttons. It's just message report, blocker kick.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, same the option to do so. But I'll just I'll do my best to represent what.
There's a guy named Brad that has his hand raised and it's working. I do not see anyone else.
It's all good. I'll just do my.
If you want to share more about the company and stuff, go for it.
Yeah. So Fintology is a really innovative AI platform helping connect people looking for lending with lending opportunities. It streamlines the process significantly utilizing AI, and was a thing that should take hours, days, weeks, it could be done in a day. It's growing incredibly fast. And because it's growing incredibly fast, they're in need of devs. So they're not immediately hiring like today because of the fact that we're currently talking to investors about bringing in the money to get y'all paid, but it's coming very soon. So if you would like to be in the pipeline for Q4 to be considered, you can email me at Jarrett, so like my first name, at Fintology.ai. And I'll just throw that in the chat real quick. And then also, if you're interested in being an intern, if you're a college student, or if you have a marketing background, good with SEO. So I just threw my email in the chat. Feel free to email me there as well. Or if you have any questions about potential roles or roles you think you could add to the company, we're open to talent. We'll be growing extremely fast. I am on the board of advisors. The CEO is in the audience. I really wanted him to come up and talk more
There we go. I think he's here. Hey, Tori,
okay,
sorry.
perfect.
I was wondering why I couldn't see him. I just refreshed and then he popped right up. So not sure what happened there, but we're good now. Tori, if you want to add anything.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Alex. Thank you, Jarrett.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'll get right into it. I'm kind of displaced from my office space, so my camera's off here. But Fintology is a AI-powered lending solution. We are looking to hire closer to the end or the middle of Q4. We are looking for additive resources to our network, our actual networking team. This will be a collaboration of developers and also SDR or sales-based roles. So we will be actively hiring. We are at a point now to where our input for the product is exceeding our output. So we are at a part of our company, or a piece of a phase within our company, where things are moving exponentially faster than we've expected. So as Jerry stated, I think, if anyone is interested in submitting, resumes on their behalf, and depending upon the experience of the parties that actually may apply for certain positions or requests, to seek if that position is available, and it makes sense, we may be open to bringing in those roles now. But nonetheless, that would be that Jarrett at Fintology.ai. But just to give a higher overall ideation of what Fintology does, once again, it uses AI technology to find lending products for consumers based on their credit score and beyond their credit score on a national, regional, and local level. So we're seeing ourselves, of course, as that unicorn company. We have the metrics and the values to prove so. We just want to have that team that represents a unicorn company also.
Yeah, this is dope, man. I was just checking out the site. Very good stuff. I think Jarrett was dropping some links in there. What's the best place for people to reach out and talk more about the roles that you're hiring for?
That would be the Jarrett at Fintology.ai. Jarrett would be actually handling the intake and filtration of that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I see his email in here. Perfect. Yeah, awesome, man. This is really cool.
Yeah, and I guess one last thing I'll share. Yeah, one last thing I'll share real quick. Sharing it multiple times in the chat, but do not miss out on the opportunity to join my free community on Entre. It's called Tech Careers. I'm posting roles, events, as well as certifications and courses weekly, and also will be announcing the different events that I'll be having. Tomorrow I have a live on Entre, a room like this. We'll have a Q&A with a technical recruiter from Microsoft. Her name is Recruiter Cousin. She has almost 96,000 followers on LinkedIn, and she's helped hundreds of people break into tech, get higher paying roles in tech, and get new roles in tech. So we're going to be talking about how she works with people, what's the advice she gives when it comes to LinkedIn, resumes, interviewing, networking, all of that stuff. So you definitely want to be in attendance. And yeah, that's something. Is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And if you go to the Tech Careers community and you go to the welcome section, you'll find the link to RSVP there. Or if you just go to the events section of Entre, you can find them there as well. And as soon as we have roles available for Fintology to immediately apply for, you'll find them in the Entre marketplace. And yeah, I look forward to bringing more AI companies to the table. And yeah, that's it. So thanks, Michael.
You got it. Yeah, I just dropped the link there for the event that he's doing tomorrow with Recruiter Cousin, who apparently is a big hit in the chat with people joining. So I know she has a big following on LinkedIn, so excited to have her here tomorrow with Jarrett. And yeah, definitely pop into his community. I know he's going to be doing a lot of live streams and stuff here as well, and sharing opportunities. But this was great. I know we're kind of like up over the hour. So is there anything else, Alex, you want to share? Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, I think we hit most of it, man. I thank you again for putting this together. It was a great event, and I'm excited for the next one.
Perfect. Yeah, and feel free to.
Hey, Michael, can I ask Tori just to plug one thing real quick? Since this is an AI technology space and these are a bunch of job seekers, Tori, if you could just give like a 1-minute overview of what Octoply.ai is, yeah, because it could just be useful for folks looking to apply for roles.
So I'm currently with my CCO on Octoply. I will let him also, I'm a co-founder for Octoply, so I'll actually let him cover that. And his name is Walter Gordon, and I'll let him talk really quick.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to be here. And honestly, I wasn't expecting you to mention Octoply, the co-founder of Fintology as well with Tori. But Octoply is a software that uses language models to help adapt each individual person's resume to the job description, but also apply for jobs on autopilot. So the way that I like to describe it is applying for jobs is a full-time job. So we want to take that job off your shoulders. So being able to free up that time with consumers and allow Octoply to apply for up to 300 jobs a month for them and tailor and adapt their resume to the job descriptions, but also rewrite their resume during the sign-up process to help make sure that it's formatted correctly. They're all ATS compliant. We give them different templates that all are. And we help them, like I said, use different language models to rewrite their resume in the first place, being that full go-to job solution for people.
Pretty sick. You guys are busy out here.
Yeah, we are Octoply. Yeah, Jarrett, I wasn't expecting that, but that would be a immediate, instant value for everyone in this community here, very valuable. So I wasn't expecting that, but yes, we do have Octoply also. That is done with you and also done for you, assistive tool to assist you to spike into not only the tech career field, but any career field. But mainly, our primary focus is the tech communities.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw in the Tech Careers community a link to get a discount on the product. So I'll just post that in Tech Careers. So make sure you join Tech Careers. And if you'd like to get a discount code for Octoply, I'll post it in the welcome section. I'll also post it in the job resources section as well. And basically the hardest part is the getting rejected and applying for a million roles. But it's way easier when it's done on autopilot and you're just getting these, hey, we're interested in interviewing you type of responses. So that's the last thing that I wanted to add, Michael. Look forward to connecting with everybody in the Tech Careers community or on my live tomorrow. And then I have another live happening on next Thursday as well of how to launch your tech startup. So look out for that in the events page. And I'll be doing rooms weekly. So make sure you follow me here. And then also check out my YouTube channel and my Instagram. I'll throw this in the chat as well. All right, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Jarrett. Really appreciate it, Tori. This is great stuff. All right. I think that's it. Alex, is there anything else you want to cover? I think we're good, man. We can wrap things up here.
Yeah, I think we're good to wrap. Thanks again, everyone. I'm excited to do another one.
Looking forward to doing another one soon. We'll have to get these guys, Tori and these guys on next time too, for sure. And when they have the roles ready to rock. But if you guys need anything, feel free to DM me, reach out to me on socials as well. Just Michael W. Mara, and then Entre is at Join Entre. So for those of you are getting an AI headshot, please tag us. We're just giving out some for free just so people can share it on socials and stuff. And then we are going to start charging for those. But anyone who wants an AI headshot, we're going to be doing like a discount like it's going to be basically $5 for like 100 headshots when we launch. So you'll get a lot of really cool stuff. The promo code is just Entre. It's just ENTRE. Make sure you do underscore, or make sure you do all lowercase. I think it is case sensitive, but yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. Come out to Jarrett's event tomorrow with Recruiter Cousin. Make sure you check out the other job fairs and job stuff that we have going on here, and pop into some communities. But really appreciate it, everyone. Thanks, Alex, for doing this. Jarrett for popping on, and excited for the next one. But yeah, have a great week, everyone. Stay tuned. We'll be posting the recording probably tomorrow or on Friday. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. Have a good one. See you soon. Until next time. Peace.